Marcus has as much savvy as anybody I've ever coached, and he spoiled a great opportunity there. He could have let Justin just walk in front of everybody. Same thing. We feel fortunate, lucky, happy, everything to be here. We made some big plays down the stretch. Made 6 of our last 7 free throws. I think that was big. The little fella beside me was a big-time player for us today. There's no question about that. 4 out of 5 from 3, and the only one he missed was in the first half. And I said, "Did you rush it?" And he said, "Yeah, I wasn't balanced." But I think he was phenomenal for us, and not just the threes. He kept moving without the ball, and I think got 2 layups as we opened up the court, and he turns down the middle, and guys hit him with good passes. But there's a reason they were 29-2. And they're really a good basketball team, and we're very fortunate and I hope they get everybody healthy, because they have a very sincere run in them if they're healthy to win the whole blessed thing. And they need Justin to get healthy, and Adkins hurt his ankle in yesterday's game, and we understand that, but we'll take it. But I do think that Justin was great for us, and I thought Marcus, when it was a 1-point lead and we called the timeout with 6 seconds to play, I think his play at that time was the play of the game, really. I thought Brogdon was sensational. He scored 12 in a row on us. I think he had either 22 or 23 in the second half. Perante scored their last 5, but Brogdon was just off the charts for them. But the job Tony's done has been sensational, but we're especially pleased to be here still playing.
Questions? Let us get the mics to you. Let us know who you are, who you're with. Front row.
Roy, Brett Strelo, Fayetteville Observer. Down here.
Yeah, I was looking for my drink. Somebody stole
Sorry,
my drink.
I don't have one of those for you.
Okay. See if I left that drink in there, please, Clint. And I did say please.
Justin said he thought you guys' defense sped them up. Was that the case, or was your offense that good, or what did you think kind of affected the tempo of the game?
I think it was one of the best games we've played defensively, and yet we made some huge mistakes too. But I thought we were much more active. We were more aggressive. We were pressuring. In a half-court situation, that could be the most aggressive, most active defense we've had all year long. And I think that helped us. There's no question we didn't get as many fast break points out of it as we had hoped, but I think it was good for us, yes.
Left middle of the room.
Matt Oakes, WCHL. Coach, for the majority of the game from the free throw line, around 50% you were shooting, but then in the clutch down the last couple minutes, the shots were falling. Can you just talk about the composure of your team these last few games down the stretch?
Well, I think, again, it's getting the right guys to the free throw line. You know, we set the out-of-bounds play full court when it was a 3-point game to get the ball to Marcus, and they got it and they fouled him. Justin made 2 big free throws. He made 2 big ones yesterday, maybe more than 2 yesterday. So having good shooters in the game, and good shooters usually make more than some other guys. And I like the focus and the toughness too. You know, teams talk about us being soft and all that kind of stuff, but I liked their toughness down the stretch yesterday and today both.
Back of the room in front of me.
David Glenn from the David Glenn Show and ACCSports.com is for Justin and Coach. Coach has been telling us all season long, Justin, what an excellent shooter you are. But you're at 26% on threes. You have a night like this, and actually I looked it up since the Duke game at Duke. You've hit 50% of your threes. So how did you go from being a good practice shooter to a good game shooter?
You know, I always knew I was a shooter. Obviously, like you said, the numbers didn't show it. But for me, I knew it would come around sooner or later. I think after the Duke game, me and Coach sat down, and I told him it'd be all right. It'll start coming. And I guess right after that, it started clicking a little bit. So I'm just glad I was able to contribute to this game and be able to move on tomorrow.
You know, it's just what he said. I mean, I have said all along we thought he was going to be a really good shooter for us. So he could have showed a lot more savvy by saying, well, I knew Coach was right, but he missed that opportunity too. But I really think that Marcus's freshman year, I said he's going to be a big-time player, and I get to see it when you recruit him, yes, but I get to see it every day, and it's a matter of time. Sometimes it takes some guys longer than others, but I think that we need Justin to be a big-time scorer, and I think he's getting better and better at moving without the ball as well, and you know, in the off season, he'll be able to work on his body and the whole bit. I did know that he was going to be a big-time shooter before he left. I just hoped it was in my lifetime.
Back left, very far back of the room.
Adam Powell, ACCSports.com. This is for Coach and the players. Would you say this is about as complete an all-around game as you've played so far this season?
Well, it's against such a good opponent. You know, you have to feel that way. I hated the way we turned the ball over. We had some of the worst turnovers in history. But You know, a coach is always going to find some things that you can get better, but I think it was a pretty doggone complete performance, yes. Marcus?
I agree. Uh, we shot above 50% from the floor against one of the best defensive teams in the country, if not the best defensive team in the country. And like he said, minus the turnovers, when we got a chance to get shots, we got good ones. Justin did a great job of either finding the open spot for the skip pass or cutting to the basket and getting a layup. And, we just did a good job of playing unselfish and sharing the ball. And then defensively, despite, we made mistakes here and there. We changed our defense a couple times and guys didn't get the assignments, but we just competed at the highest level that we've competed all year. And that's one thing that, is a positive for us.
To our left.
Mark Carroll with the ACC Sports Journal. This is for the players. There have been a couple times this season where you guys have had a lead late in the game and it sort of got away from you. Coach mentioned free throws tonight, but is there anything beyond that yesterday and tonight that was different than earlier in the year?
Justin?
We got stops. Obviously, Brogdon came down a couple times and hit some shots that just, you got to get back on offense. But I think late we started getting some stops, which then they had to foul us and we started making free throws. So I think the biggest thing was we got stops and then ended up making free throws.
I agree. I mean, not turning the ball over late, very late in the game, we didn't have very many turnovers. So we were able to keep the ball, keep possession, and get the ball to our foul shooters and knock them down. And, and they missed a couple of good looks. The one possession we really needed to stop, when Justin Anderson caught it on the wing, Bryce did a good job of challenging that three-point shot, and we were able to get that rebound. So that was big for us, just executing the little things. We missed a couple box outs and stuff, but we just competed on the glass late and then got the ball to our foul shooters. And we made them.
JP's turnover 226, and we didn't turn it over the next 5 possessions, and I think that was big too.
To our left.
Aaron Beard with the AP. This is for Marcus. Could you describe a little bit about what you were trying to do on that shot and what was going through your mind knowing Brogdon was on, you went airborne, and you had to get it up quick?
Yeah, well, we set up a little elevator door play for me to go through the 2 big guys to catch the ball at the top. And then, 6 seconds, you don't have a lot of time, but that's plenty of time to make a play and not hoist up a jump shot. A couple times earlier in the year, I had settled for jump shots in that situation, but I knew we were in the bonus, and I wanted to try to, use my quickness to get in the lane and either make something happen for myself or my teammates. Gave him a fake, and when he left his feet, I knew I had a chance to get a decent shot off, and that's what happened. I was able to knock it down.
Once again, to our left.
I'm Mike Sosman, South Boston News and Record coach. With about 2.5 minutes left in the game, you were up 61-60, and Brogdon was driving for the bucket as he had been doing. I think it's the only time that they really were shooting for the lead. And as he went, I think he had beaten Tokto, but Johnson stuck his hand out and knocked the ball loose. Can you talk about that play?
Bryce usually thinks defense is that what you put around your yard. Defense, but Bryce really did slide his feet and get in there that time. During one of the timeouts we talked about, it was North Carolina's defense against Virginia's offense. It wasn't just a guy guarding Brogdon. If he started driving for everybody to get in and try to close the gap and make it, and I thought that was a huge play, as you say, probably the most significant play of the game. But as the guy said, we had some lapses, but you're going to have that in the course of a whole game. And Virginia is so good, you can't have too many or you're going to lose. But I thought that was a huge defensive play for Bryce.
Front row.
For the players, tomorrow you're going to be playing the 4th game in 4 days. Is there a concern about having enough gas in the tank, or does the adrenaline just kind of kick in? And then for Roy, as a guy who loves this conference and has been here for a long time and is well aware of the history of it, above and beyond playing for the championship tomorrow, is there anything special about playing in the final, the last time it's going to be in Greensboro for quite a long time?
Okay.
What was your question for the players?
The
exhilaration is carrying them on.
the stamina of playing 4 games in 4 days. And does the adrenaline kick in, or is there a concern that you'll run out of gas?
At this point, everybody's tired. The team that we're playing will be playing their 3rd game. So, you kind of just have to mentally not think about it and just tough it out. I played in the ACC championship game my freshman year, and we came really close. We played a really great game, and we were unable to come through and win it. So we'll have a little extra motivation there. We have some guys that are on the roster that were on that team too. So we're going to be hungry, and at that point, once they throw the ball up, you can't worry about being tired. There's no time for that, especially and for what's on the line. A championship, a chance to call yourself the best.
Honestly, there's no excuse. We made it to the championship. Other teams play games these past couple of days. So we're going to rest up tonight and come out tomorrow at whatever time the game is and be ready to play them.
Yeah, what time is the game tomorrow? Tomorrow night? Oh. 8:30, Jimmy to Christmas. Greensboro. It's going to be a long time, so I'm assuming that means 4 or 5 years. Okay, I hope to still be coaching at that time too. But, you know, there's always significance for every tournament regardless of where you play. I was really excited, completely ecstatic and excited when we won it in Tampa several years ago. But it's been a while since we won one. So if, you know, we get to play for it, there's a lot of teams that are going to be home. So it would be significant for this team, very significant for this team. I hope it would be significant for the North Carolina fans who are here supporting us in Greensboro that might have a more difficult time going to, I think we're in Washington next year and then New York and then Charlotte before it comes back here, but I don't have any idea how many years. But it'll be significant for our team. And that's what I'm going to be focused on, not history or anything like that. I'm going to be focused on these 16, 17 kids we've got. Aaron?
Coach, the tournament obviously moved forward a day, and I guess a lot of the coaches have been in support of that. How much of a help is it now? I know you got a game to play, but you do have an extra day of rest before the tournament. Is it a benefit playing that Saturday and having Sunday off?
Well, there's no question it's a huge benefit. But, guys, I mean, and I'm not trying to get on you, but right now we're trying to win the sucker tomorrow. I'm not too concerned about where we're going later on. I always tell my players, if you look down the road, that's where you're going, down the road going back home. We're going to be ecstatic to try to play and win a championship tomorrow, but there's no question the extra day's rest helps. There's no question about it.
3 more questions. First one here.
Daniel Wilco with the Daily Tar Heel. This is for Coach and Marcus. Justin seems to be a very humble guy even after 22 points.
He's from Humble, Texas.
Is that the real Justin, or do you guys see a different version?
He doesn't like the way I call it humble, but.
Yeah, that's the real Justin. You know, he's a good dude.
He's got to be humble. He lives with Theo and Joel.
That's true. When
That's right.
When we were recruiting him, I remember he was so quiet. He wouldn't say anything. He's opened up a little bit since, but he's always been humble. And, you know, I think he realizes his opportunity here, and he's very gracious. And we need him to be a big-time player, and he's starting to be one. So I'm happy, proud of him.
Proud of the little fella.
Barry Tony, College Sports Broadcasting. JP, he went out with about 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game. Have you got any report on him?
No. I don't have any idea what he – do you guys have any idea? I don't have any idea what he did. I was focusing on the guys that were in there. They told me that he was not going to be able to go back in, and we focused on the guys we had out there. And so I have no idea.
Last question.
Viv Bernstein, New York Times. Coach, for Virginia to be unbeatable most of the season and then lose twice in a week, I'm kind of wondering if coaches have figured out that team going into the tournament.
No, it's not. I mean, beating Louisville at Louisville's not easy. You know, they lost on the last second play when Matang, I hope I pronounced his name properly, knocked in a jump shot that is not necessarily what they would focus on doing. Brogdon made a huge 3 from the corner. This league is pretty doggone good. And, you know, we're not chopped liver, so I think losing to Louisville at Louisville and losing in the semifinals of the ACC Tournament doesn't mean that you've been bad. I'll give you this one. I want these guys to change it, but my teams have taken me to 7 Final Fours. One time we won the conference tournament. We were pretty doggone good. We won 2 national championships when we did not win the conference tournament. So you know, Tony's done a fantastic job, and they get those guys healthy, they can win a national championship. I'd like to play them again in a national championship game. That'd be ecstatic for me.